Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Life as I See It with your hostess, Dina Nierenberg. And with me today, I have an amazing guest, Tiffany Stoika. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tiffany is the owner of VST Exclusive Salon and Spa, which is where we're taping the show today. And by the way, happy holidays, everybody. I hope that you're enjoying this time of year. And of course, it's important to enjoy every time of year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's so great to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been excited to be on your show for a very long time now.
We're talking a lot about self-care and all about what it takes to motivate oneself to take care of themselves, which it's kind of sort of strange because, like, okay, you want to take care of yourself, and how are you going to get there? And the thing is, some people are not motivated to take care of themselves. Some people are not motivated to do their hair, skin, and nails. The idea is, I believe, to get into motion regardless of how you're feeling. Just get into it. That's it. And it's all about going beyond limitations. Because after all, limitations are not a God-given thing. They are a man-made thing. Sometimes we give ourselves limitations. We're given limitations by the people around us. Sometimes even loved ones, by our schools, by society, by Instagram. We are given limitations. And the idea is we have to bust out of them. And it's not by what we tell ourselves inside, but it's about what we do. It's actions. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than thoughts. So some people are like, one day I'm going to be motivated to exercise. No, it doesn't work that way. It's called one day you get up and you exercise and you take it from there,
I believe that certain people are just unmotivated by the circumstances of life, which is normal. You don't have to get up and do your hair every single day or get your nails done every single day, but once a month, once in a blue moon, you're allowed to spoil yourself and pamper yourself. It takes one little thing to change how you feel on the inside.
That's right.
Getting your nails done, you sit for an hour and 30 minutes, but then you have a month of just looking at your nails and being happy, like, wow, this is clean, this is amazing, I love it.
Right.
And you feel good about yourself. You feel presentable to the world.
That's right.
I feel like we, as women, can give up on ourselves. We don't all have to be beauty queens and done up and everything, but just maintenance yourselves for your soul.
That's right.
Not for anybody else.
That's
for
right.
You as a woman. So you know that, you know what? Even if I don't have someone taking care of me, I'm taking care of me.
That's right.
And that's important.
That's right. Sometimes there's actually a Hebrew proverb, I'm going to give it in English. Sometimes you have to do something before you change your mindset. It's about the action, I'll give it in Hebrew. Shemito shalo lishma bo lishma. Now I'm sure that teachers who taught me this in elementary school didn't mean, okay, that means go to the salon, get your hair and nails done. What they meant was more like, start getting something done, and then like the feeling will go along with it. And that's the same, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what language you're saying it is. A universal truth.
It really is.
Universal truth. So it's all about taking basic steps for yourself and taking it from there. Yeah.
Start small.
Little by little, just the little thing.
Even if it's buying a little clay mask for yourself,
right,
and putting it on before bed, you're doing something for yourself. You're
right.
Maintaining yourself. And that's what's important. You have to love yourself. You have to care about yourself. Because who else will?
That's right. That's right. I don't know when or how we learned that, beauty is vain. Or, vanity, caring too much about yourself is wrong.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
We as women, we really do care what we look like. We do care, and that's never going to change.
No.
Never, ever, ever going to change.
Not in any country, in any state, in any lifetime,
that's
any world.
Correct. That's right.
A woman is a woman.
Woman is a woman.
And she'll always want something.
That's right. It's not about putting your entire day, every day into it. You know, it's not about shopping like mad women every day, but it's about doing basic things to make yourself feel beautiful.
Yeah.
It is our entitlement as a woman to want to feel beautiful. No, it is not vain. For any woman who says, no, it's all vanity, it's beneath me, they're not really in touch with themselves.
They're
don't
really
know.
not.
Every woman out there wants to be beautiful. Even the ones who can barely put on eyeliner
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah, 100%.
They want it to.
Everybody. Everyone has a look. They have a style. They have who they are. Some people enjoy the messy look, but at least you're doing something to make it look messy. You're doing it on purpose.
That's right.
You're still doing it for yourself. That's your style. That's who you are.
That's right.
So no shame in that in any
Uh-huh.
way. There's different forms of people. There's different forms of everybody. But end of the day, doing something for yourself is pushing you to just a higher level inside, the confidence boost. You put on a little bit mascara, you already feel like, okay, my eyes are a little bit bigger.
That's right.
You know, something different about yourself. Even as a little girl, when you used to get the toys, the fake makeup,
Oh, I love
and the little eyeshadow, the first thing you want to do is open it and put it all over your face.
I know.
And it made you feel so
So
happy.
good. Oh my gosh, you're so even if it wasn't real makeup, but it was like plastic
Yeah.
applicators and that. Like you're pretending to put a little eyeshadow, and you're like, oh my god, like you want to cry with happiness, and like the fake perfume,
Yeah.
and oh my gosh, the fake blushers. There was nothing like it.
No, they're really,
yeah.
that feeling, I wish I can feel it again.
Yeah. Truth of the matter is, I started feeling that again.
Good.
In the morning, I put on some great music, and I just start putting on my makeup. And pretend that I'm like still a makeup artist, like I was in my early 20s. I just like say, this is my canvas. Let's paint on the canvas. This is what we're showing the world today.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, it's for me, but it's for everybody. And it makes me so happy that I actually took the time to put on moisturizer and a sunblock and a little blush and a little this and a little that. And like, this is my look, you know? I just feel happier when I do my eyes. It's a look I like.
Yes. Just the confidence
Just
comes
the
up.
confidence
You
comes
build
through.
up as who you are. You're not shy.
Yeah.
You
that's
know,
right.
certain times, like, I know certain women, they get shy to look eye level to a man because they're not wearing anything on their face.
That's right.
And I don't feel like women should feel like that.
They should.
But I understand. I understand because I've been there. I know what that is. You know, as much as you want to be so really confident about yourself, there's days that you're not all the most confident. So definitely a trip to the spa, a trip to the salon,
Yeah.
even a doctor's visit, you know, it really helps
How
out.
every little thing helps. That's right. It's all about just getting out there, just doing what you have to do. That's it. Without worrying about whether or not, you know, your mind will go along with you. Because guess what? Your mind will go along with you. But you are in charge of your mind, and not the other way around. Because if you put your mind in charge, it's hell and chaos.
Yeah.
And that's actually what's going on right now in the world. There's chaos. There's absolute chaos. People are putting their thoughts and their emotions before doing what it is that they're supposed to do. You know, they're supposed to be living life, really, really living the life, and really, really getting out there. And what are they doing instead? They're constantly on their phones, posting up, you know, every little deed of their lives so that other people can criticize it.
Yes.
And then other people are posting up things that you may say, oh, she has that. I don't have that. And there's so much ego involved. And people are terrified of each other. People are angry at each other. There are wars going on as we speak. And I can't even really think about it because I will just go crazy. And it's like, what's happened to the world? It's like, it used to be just, you got, you know, when we were hunter-gatherers, you did what you had to do that day. I firmly believe that people were actually happier back then, and there were no phones of any kind or any technology. They were like lucky to have like invented the wheel.
Yeah.
I think that they were happier than we are now. Now we just put so much of our survival instincts into our minds, trying to defend ourselves, trying to prosecute other people. and trying to make it so that everybody has to somehow work within the framework of how my mind works. And if not, it's horrible for me and it's horrible for you.
The truth is, what's going on around the world, just in general, in these past year, 2 years, it's just not the best. It's not the ideal. It's not what people want to see. It's not what people want to experience. It hurts from every side and every angle. You already don't know who to help, who to be. And the thing is, when people push an agenda onto you, because I feel like social media really influences people to do the wrong things.
I think so too.
They push a certain agenda on certain people. They take advantage of vulnerable people.
Sure.
And that doesn't help the situation in any way.
That's right.
I understand that social media is good for getting news around. It's good. It's a big advantage. It's a huge advantage. Yes, if it wasn't for social media, a lot of things would not be good. But also because of social media, because of the way the world is starting to think and everyone has their opinions and you can freely express that. All you have to do is download a fake name and comment whatever you want to. Exactly. I feel like that it's just become it's become scary.
Yeah.
It's scary because you don't want to say the wrong things.
That's right.
If you're putting your opinion, someone's gonna counter it.
Sure.
And it's like it's an ongoing argument. It's never something that, and the truth is, no one will ever be fully happy for you on social media.
That's true.
No one's
that's
ever,
it.
yeah.
She's here and she's there and she does
No one truly cares. Like if you post a certain, like I've been off social media for 5 years.
Same.
And the second that I got back on is the second that I noticed that my life has went from calm to having these inconveniences happen. I feel like evil eye is a huge part of social media. It's jealousy is a huge part of social media, and you can't get around it unless you're not posting anything and you're just completely shut down.
Right.
And nobody wants to really be like that. Like you want to update your life. You want to post a little picture here and there. But I've noticed like if I post in a certain dress, so many likes, so many comments, but then the next day I see, hey, the dress is ripped. That means somebody,
Oh.
So no one's genuine online. And that's the problem, is that social media is just not all the best in any sense of So
yeah. Then again, when a person is living online, they're really not living their true life. They're not. I mean, look, I was around in the 70s, 80s, 90s, not to tell everybody my age, and so I won't, but now we can figure it out. We didn't have those things. We actually had to get out into the real world and go places. We did something called window shopping at the time, and this generation is like, what does it mean to go window shopping?
they don't know.
I'm like, just strolling down the street and looking into the store windows. If you see something particularly gorgeous and you want it, you get it, or you put it on layaway or whatever. But yeah, to go out for pizza and window shopping. Me and my friends, this is how we spent our time. We had, the basic phone, but we did not have a cell phone of any kind, and there wasn't one until I turned age 24. There was not a cell phone. There was nothing. The only cell phone that was heard of was some offices had the great honcho of the office, the big boss got to take it. He had like the pleasure of taking it out in like this leather pocketbook. The regular cell phone, no, nobody had really had that until the year like 1995, 1996. So I lived a decent part of my life without any of that. So I know for a fact that there's life, so much life, beyond Instagram, beyond the net.
For sure. Growing up, I grew up in a time where iPhones were introduced to us when I was like 10 years old. So previous to then, I fortunately had a real childhood. I would know my neighbors' names. We would go outside in the backyard, summertime. This neighbor is barbecuing. We would share food with each other. We would play with all the neighborhood kids. Nowadays, children, because they're all iPad babies, like they're fresh out of the oven and they're already on an iPad.
I know.
They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to socialize. They're shy to ask a little kid, hey, what's your name? How old are you?
That's right.
There's no more of it. They're very low confidence in real life, but on the phone, they're
full confidence.
tippy typing away like no tomorrow, and that's not good. I think God still grew up at the time where I was able to experience being a child.
That's good. That's great.
But nowadays, it's just the children are different.
That's right.
The generation is completely different.
That's right.
There's certain things that they don't even believe that happened in history, like the Holocaust, for example. They're not teaching that in schools. That I don't know what they're teaching anymore in schools, because it's just they're just all on their phones. They're all on TikTok. They're just dancing. What else is there to life, you know?
Yeah, they're teaching it really to the wrong crowd. I'll tell you, go into any Jewish school and they put so much focus on the Holocaust that some kids like feel paralyzed in their seats. You have kids crying. You have kids running out of the room.
Yeah.
You have kids, like, for example, we learned all about the Holocaust and I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I would get up, start crying, and run out of the room. I'd make such an actress out of myself every single time. And it's not that I wanted to, it's just that I could not handle the emotions. Yeah. So they teach on this kind of thing a lot in Jewish schools, but the problem is that they're teaching it to people who already know about it.
Exactly.
Either from family,
yes,
or even from past lifetimes.
Yes.
It's hard, and you try to tell teachers. You could try to tell teachers, no, I don't need to learn this because I already know about it. They're like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You're 12 years old. How do you know about the Holocaust? I'm like, it's just a feeling I have, you know. And then they don't teach it enough in the public schools where they really need to teach it.
I went to public school. Mm-hmm. When I grew up knowing about the Holocaust. My dad has put it into our bloodstreams from the day we were born. Mm-hmm. We knew about that. I have family who's died in the Holocaust. My dad is literally fighting in the United Nations for our people to be recognized that we were also, you know, in the Holocaust, we also suffered. Now in school, what they would tell us is completely just information that if we were to add on, hey, this happened, that's not true, that didn't happen. How do you know this? How do you know what has happened in my family history, my personal family stories that I knew and I grew up with? How are you going to tell me that that's not it? And now they're not even teaching. Like in public schools, the kids don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know who Hitler is. They think it was like a joke or something.
So they deny it.
They deny it. They don't know anything about it. And if you ask them, like, what is going on, they just make it into a joke. They don't care. They don't care. And that's also another part of what's going on now. People are picking sides when they have no information on anything at all. Like I can't sit here and I'm not a political person. I'm not going to sit and I'm not going to say my views and my everything because I just don't want to, you know. I keep to myself how I feel. But there's certain people that just, you hear them spread the wrong information.
That's right.
And you're just like sitting there and you're boiling inside of yourself.
I know.
And that's the thing, is that kids are getting influenced with this exact information, and then they're coming to you as if it's fact.
On Instagram.
And that's when it gets dangerous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 The world has definitely become a more dangerous place than ever before, with false information just being spread again and again, more and more and more. The right information not being taught in schools, and the right information not being written out on Instagram. Yeah. And you have these terrible influencers.
Terrible.
They're very racist, very anti-Semitic, very anti-life. And then you have kids who are like, oh, because they're a big star, they must be telling the truth. They must know what's going on. Because they're so gorgeous and so put together, they must know what's happening. I feel like the Instagram itself is kind of like made two factions. There are the influencer, and then there are the influenced. Yes. And the influencers can do very, very, very scary stuff.
Big damage. Big
damage by being, let's say, a singer, superstar, being a major actor, actress, by being some kind of dancer or just some type of, personality kind of thing that everybody knows about. And because they said it, it makes it fact. It's pretty horrible.
It is horrible.
It is horrible too.
It is horrible. it's scary to know what the future holds and what it would be like. Like I am personally just tired of seeing women 24/7 posting bikinis. Don't you have more to yourself as a woman? If you have a big following base, sure, post whatever you want to. But sometimes do stuff for people. Do stuff to give back to the community. You have it in your hands to do a lot.
Yeah, if you could show yourself off in a bikini, you can do a lot
You
of
can
things.
do a lot.
I never thought of that before, but it's true, right?
It's true.
If you have that type of confidence, you can do anything, really, I think. I don't think I would ever post myself up in a bikini.
I can't.
I
don't
can't
wanna try one.
I can't understand it. But if you have that kind of guts, go out there and make a difference in the world.
course.
That's all.
There's no shame in listen, if you have a beautiful body, listen. If I had a perfect body, I'd walk around like that all day, every day. There's no shame in it. But do something more with what you have. Just
Right.
spread some type of something, even if it's for animals, even if it's for children, even if, use your platform as a voice to help. Stop spreading unnecessary, just pointless topics of life that people don't need to think about, truly.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Especially little children, they look up to everybody.
I know, and they get
Singers,
influenced.
yes.
10-year-olds and they're anti-Semitic. Do you even know what it means to be anti-Semitic?
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
what do you know? You're 10. Yeah, you probably had your lifetimes too, but like now what you're doing is you're listening to these idiotic influencers, like just, they've been discredited a long time ago also. It's just
And then when something becomes a trend and it's not the best trend, that's when already, like, I'm sorry to say, but all of a sudden everybody wanted to change genders at one time.
oh, that's right.
All the kids all of a sudden thought that this was a cool thing. This is not a cool thing. This is something that people grow up to figure out on their own.
Oh, that's right.
This is something
Not because
that
your friends is.
people struggle with. This is a real, listen, at the end of the day, this is a real mental problem. This is a real identity problem that certain people go through. But the kids took it as, hey, if you're not trans, you're not cool.
So whatever, then you gotta be the opposite. That's pretty crazy.
That's the
That's
scariest.
scary. As scary as anything.
And the thing is that one side of the social media, they only showed the one side. They showed the process to be it. But they don't show the process after, when people are truly struggling and they regret what they've done. Body modifications, all of this, they regret it.
Hormones and that.
They never, that's the thing, when people are hyping up a certain thing, that's what they'll promote the most. But when a person finally says, hey, I was wrong, Instagram is not going to make that popular. People are not going to sit there and be like, hey, I'm going to listen to this guy, he went through it. They don't care. They're
Right.
saying, I'm still going to do it because it's still cool.
Right, that's it. Doing without consequences. That's without knowing the consequences, and I think that's the worst.
And I believe that people are allowed to be who they want to be.
Sure.
Wherever they want to be, whatever they want to be, do what you need to do. Just do not push it onto other
That's
people.
right.
If a person personally asks you and is going through the same issue and is serious about it and asks you for your advice, then you have all the freedom to say what you went through, your experience, whatever it was. But if they don't ask you for nothing, do not push your agenda onto other people.
That's right.
I don't believe in that. I feel like a person should find their own identity. Person should experience their own experiences.
Yeah.
I feel like kids should be playing with basketballs and in the sandbox up until a certain age when you're ready to decide, hey.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just all of the agendas that are pushed
Everything.
onto us. They're just like, I think it's been the destruction of the world as we know it. And it's so unfortunate. You're always like wondering, like, okay, what's next? What's next?
And that's the thing. For
That's the
many
thing.
years, we were just on a standstill up until quarantine,
Until Corona.
that's when everything was like one after the other
after the other. That's right.
and we still can't settle. We have wars after wars.
Yeah.
We have sicknesses after sicknesses. We have different agendas that are being planned and against people and conspiracies and all that.
That's
It's
right.
just sitting and you're thinking, oh my God, what is this world? Do I even want to wake up tomorrow to experience what is going on?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Then you realize as long as God has put breath into your
Yes.
body, you're going to wake up the next morning and experience.
100%.
But it's your choice how you choose to experience
Yes.
your life.
Yes.
You can experience it as being something really beautiful, and that you were put down here to be a sunshine. You were put down here to just be incredible, to be your best, to be absolutely, to go further than you ever thought that you could go.
Yeah.
Or you can say, oh gosh, no, I'm gonna just stay home.
Yeah.
Crumbled up shriveled up underneath the blanket with my little phone.
Yeah.
Just my whole life is this little silly phone. Because I'm terrified of what's going on out there. People feel, unfortunately, the safety of that phone and the staying in bed thing. Like, no, that's not a life.
No.
I say, yeah, okay, fine. It's like, for maximum, like an hour a day, because I feel like Instagram is kind of like, say, watching TV in a way, but it's a lot more dangerous than TV. But I'm like, okay, for the kids, for the teenagers who feel like they need a bit of Instagram, okay, limited amount of time. This should not even be part of your life. This should literally be when you literally have done everything that you needed to do, everything that you wanted to do with your day so far.
Yeah.
And then if you could sneak in a few minutes, okay. But don't plan for Instagram. Do not plan for Instagram. No way. No way. There's so much more that you could do. Do for yourself. Do for the world. Even doing for yourself is doing for the world. That's right. You need to be your own best friend. And to get back to what we were saying earlier on in the show, if you're not going to care for you, who's going to care for you? If you're not for you, who's going to be for you fully? You know, it's like people will care, but they're not going to care the way you care. Once people see that you put something into yourself, they start to have more respect for you.
Yeah.
They start to show, oh, Dina is a presence. She put something into herself. It's obvious she cares. It's obvious that she cares how she's seen. And so you start to command some respect.
Yeah.
And and then when you respect them, they respect you, and so back and forth. The next thing you know, you're out in the open into the world. And guess what? Maybe it started with a little bit of eyeliner.
Yeah.
You know? Right? It all starts with a little bit of eyeliner.
100%.
That's right.
My entire life, I've always tried to help my friends. Like, hey, you should change this up about yourself. You should change this up. You should stop wearing too much makeup because you don't need it. Take off the false eyelashes because you don't need them. Certain people, you gotta tell them, you don't need so much. There's some people who do too much. There's some people who do too little.
That's right.
You gotta find your balance.
Yeah.
But you have to have somebody good, somebody to tell you the right stuff.
The right intentions.
But certain people
Right
don't
intentions.
have those people. So
know,
that's
right?
why,
Yeah.
what can you do,
Yeah.
So when you have an opportunity to help somebody, take it. Take the opportunity.
That's right.
Give them the advice that something inside of you is pushing you to tell that person. Say it to them in the nicest way possible. You don't know what it can change for them.
That's right. So it's so true. I remember being in camp decades and decades ago, and I was very, very lucky very fortunate to have a great group of girls. That we were all sharing the same bunkhouse, and there was one girl in the bunkhouse, and she did not put an ounce into herself ever. And one day she decided she wants to start hanging out with us. I said, I was kind of sort of like a little bit of a teenage snob back then, but it was only because of my own insecurities. I said, look, I'd love if you would hang out with us. However, as is, I don't know, honey, you don't put a thing into yourself. You don't care anything about yourself. I said, we've got to do something to help you. And it was a real help. It was partially, so that you could be like presentable to hang out with us, but also I came also well-intentioned. I said, look, let's just undergo a makeover. We did her hair for her. We showed her how to do her makeup, how to moisturize. And we're like, okay, the clothes too. What are we going to do about the clothes? She's like, oh, my father owns a dress store. Your father owns a dress store. Call the man, or we will. And so he sent her a whole load of gorgeous, 80s style clothing.
Yeah.
And this was look that she was able to upkeep for the rest of the summer, and then every single time I've ever met her since. So it's like we could say, oh yeah, you little snobs, you made this girl be somebody that she wasn't. But it's not that she wasn't that; it's that she needed a push. She needed a push.
She needed
She
help.
needed that. She needed help. She was clearly calling out for help, and I'm so glad that we were able to do that for her. That's what this is all about. This is what VST Salon and Spa is all about, and I'm so happy to be able to talk about VST Salon and Spa and Tiffany Stoika,
Thank you.
the owner, the beautiful owner of VST. Beautiful inside and outside, and so knowledgeable in so many areas, and so talented and so amazing.
So are you, Tina. I'm happy that I've met you, and I've learned from you. As a woman, I learned from you. So that's important. When you can learn something from somebody, that says a lot,
Thank you. Ultimate compliment. So this is Dina Nierenberg and my show, Life as I See It. Wishing all of you happy holidays and great times ahead. Love you all. Take care. All right.